Comfort, play, and teach is a strategy that you may find helpful in working with temperament. I will cover 3 different temperament traits: activity, sensitivity, and adaptability, and how to use comfort, play, teach to bring out the best in both the high and low versions of those traits. Beginning with low activity, the low activity child is content to sit and watch everybody else be active around him or her. So a comfort strategy for a low activity child is to avoid criticizing this child because he likes to do things more slowly than average. He needs to feel comfortable with his own approach to life. A play strategy would be to find a very few active things that your child likes to do and to support them. So take, for example, some children really like swimming or really like swinging, and you could bring those into your child's life. But it's important to avoid having her sit quietly for long periods of time. On the teach strategy, it would be really helpful for you to plan ahead and allow your child the time he needs so that he does not spend his life feeling rushed all the time. This lets him learn and do activities at his own pace. One of the best things that you can do for your high activity child is to help them learn what is permitted and what is not permitted before she gets into trouble. So if you can anticipate your child's next move and intervene when necessary to avoid a catastrophe, you'll really be providing a lot of comfort to your high activity child. When it comes to play, it's really critical to provide lots of opportunities to help your child burn off energy in a safe, supervised sessions, and this also helps them be more inclined to settle down when it's time to sleep, learn, or to play quietly. And finally, on teach, one of the most helpful things you can do with your high activity child is to help them learn how to transition successfully from a high energy to low energy activities. And if you provide a cool down period when it's time to switch to quiet time, again, this is something that they need to learn. The low sensitivity child is the child that misreads others' obvious cues. For instance, that dad is busy and really shouldn't be bothered right now. So a comfort thing that you can do for children who are low in sensitivity is to provide a secure place for your child to go when he misreads what else is happening in the room. This helps your child feel safe enough to start to learn what went wrong. On a play strategy for the low sensitivity child, this child needs to become more familiar with how others express emotions. So you can use imaginary play to encourage your baby to label feelings. For example, tell him, this is how a mad cat meows, and this is how a sleepy cat meows. And your child will become more familiar with how others express emotions. For your child who's low on sensitivity, teach is a very important strategy to use. You need to teach your child how to recognize other people's feelings. Point out to your child, Daddy is tired. Mommy hurts, give her a kiss. This is called emotion coaching, and this is a vitally important piece of teaching children who seem to be insensitive to learn to recognize the feelings of other people and how to show their own emotions appropriately. On the other hand, the highly sensitive child needs to learn how to stay calm when a scary situation arises, and scary situations arise a lot for the highly sensitive child. So a comfort strategy to use is, if you see an emotional or threatening situation that may overwhelm your child, help prepare your child in advance. For example, if a thunderstorm is coming, stay close to your child and talk about it calmly and soothingly. Another thing you can do is to provide your child with a variety of relationships that are soothing and nurturing. This will help your child find the world to be a safe place from which to explore. A play strategy that you can use with your very sensitive child is to encourage your baby to express her feelings, again, particularly when she's doing imaginary play. So you can use the same approach that you did for your insensitive child with your sensitive child. With your insensitive child, you're trying to teach them what the emotions are. With your sensitive child, you're trying to let them become familiar with and more comfortable with emotions. So you can say, this is how a mad cat meows, this is how a sleepy cat meows, and your child will become more comfortable with and less threatened by other people's feelings. With a very sensitive child, when it comes to teach, you want to set limits very gently. Highly sensitive children often just need that look to stop them in their tracks. Being too stern can upset them way beyond what is needed to teach them. They want to please you and learn from you. Children who are high in adaptability go along with others, and they need to learn to value their own choices as well as those of other people. A comfort strategy you can use with a highly adaptable child is to show your child that you are thrilled when she makes a choice for herself. A play strategy that you can use with your highly adaptable child is to provide your child with play opportunities where he is the leader. For example, let him decide what to play and where to play. This helps him learn to be a leader, even though he's more naturally accommodating to others' wishes. A teach strategy you can use is to teach your child who to trust and who not to trust. These children need to learn to evaluate people and not just go along with whoever is around. For children who are low in adaptability, they find the days and life's transitions difficult. So a comfort strategy you can use with a child like this is to praise his successes in adapting to change, such as going from supper to bath without crying. This will help your child feel good about his day. A play strategy for this child where he needs to learn to adopt changes that cannot be avoided to make her social and emotional life much easier. You can use play to take small steps toward big changes that are on the horizon. For example, if your child is very attached to eating from a blue plate and you know that this can't last, make a game out of eating from different colored plates. A teach strategy you can use is to use the small steps approach to help your child adopt unavoidable changes. When you break down big changes into small steps, it makes them less traumatic, and your child learns to trust you to guide him through life's big challenges. I've taken you through 3 examples of how comfort, play, and teach can be used with 3 different temperament traits. For further comfort, play, teach examples with the other 6 temperament traits, go to parents2parents.ca. Another thing you can do is to use these examples to generate your own comfort, play, teach strategies to fit your unique family combination of temperament traits.
The temperament wheel is a visual way to look at your temperament traits and those of your child. Each spoke of the wheel has a trait and an inner, middle, and outer band. The inner band would be a low level of the trait, the outer band, the high level. The middle band would represent an individual with a mixture of high and low levels of a trait. For each of the traits, color in the band that would best represent yourself. Once you have completed your wheel, then complete a wheel for your child. Then compare the similarities and differences between the 2 wheels. Your partner could also complete a wheel, and you could compare the differences and similarities between you as parents and between your partner and your child. To help you complete the wheel, you could replay the podcast and complete each trait as Dr. Krill Russell explains them.